Hello physios, today we learn on topic on congenital dislocation of hip. In this video, I used to combine with the both clinical ortho and PT ortho. Firstly, what is? It is a developmental dysplasia of hip or congenital dislocation of hip at the different forms at different ages. People who born with dislocation or instability of hip result in hip dysplasia, and females are more affected 7 times. In pathophysiology, this pathophysiology will write in clinical, not in PT. Like any dislocated at birth, it is called as classic DDH or dislocation after birth. It is underlying laxity. Laxity is nothing but your weakness. And your femoral head will be dislocated upwards and laterally. Your epiphysis is small and ossifies late. Your femoral neck is excessively anteverted and acetabulum is shallow. Your labrum may be folded into the cavity, capsule will be stretched, and the hip muscles undergoes adaptive shortening. While in classification, dislocation of hip in 3 types: posterior, anterior and central fracture dislocation. While posterior dislocation of hip, your head will be head of the femur. How? Your head of the femur will pushed out, that is in posteriorly of the acetabulum, and the mechanism of injury, it is the injury is sustained to the any directed along the shaft of the femur your hip will be flexed, so it requires some moderate force to dislocate hip. It also occurs some of the RTA and accidents, also known as dashboard injury. Next, clinical features: severe trauma, pain, swelling, your deformity like flexion, adduction and internal rotation, shortening of leg. Like radiology, it is CT scan and it may be necessary in cases where it can be associated fractures also. Your treatment: since the longer the head remains outside, there will be more chances prone for it become the avascular. It means insufficient blood supply to the blood vessels. In most cases, it is possible to reduce the hip by manipulations under general anesthesia. Open reduction may be required in cases like when closed reduction is fails, usually in those presenting the late. If intra-articular loose fragment or any acetabular fragment is large from weight bearing part of acetabulum, in this you can do with open reduction. When technique of closed reduction, how the patient is anesthetized and the place in supine on the floor. The therapist grabs the pelvis. The therapist grabs the patient's pelvis, and the other therapist also will be requiring. The other therapist will flex the hip, knee to the 90 degrees and exits in an axial pull. So usually you can hear the sound of reduction, then hip moves in all directions. After this, you can do some hip mobilization exercises. Complications like injury to the sciatic nerve, avascular necrosis to the femoral head because the head lies on the posteriorly, and osteoarthritis, myositis ossificans. Your anterior dislocation of hip, rare injury. It is sustained when legs are forcibly abducted and externally rotated. So it can occur when you all fall from a tree, like you can have your white milk from the tree and you can fall from the tree. You can see your anterior dislocation of the hip and your foot gets stuck and hip abducts excessively, or you can see some of the road accidents. Treatment and complications are some of the similar to the posterior dislocation of the hip. Next, anterior dislocation completed. Next, central fracture dislocation of the hip. It is common injury. It can be seen some femoral head is driven through the medial wall of the acetabulum towards the pelvis side, and you can see some joint stiffness and OA For this, you can have some of the traction applied distally and laterally, and the traction must be maintained at 8 to 12 weeks of time period. In young people, like surgical reconstruction of the acetabulum, it may be necessary, and some of the complications like hip stiffness, myositis ossificans, and OA. Your clinical features, in early childhood, you can see some asymmetry of growing, fold, click sound, and limitation of the movement. In older child, peculiar gait and no pain, but there may be a limitation of hip abduction. Your limb will be short, externally rotated, and you can see in this picture asymmetry of thigh folds like buttock, and asymmetry of thigh fold, and you can see the spine, lordosis of the lumbar spine. Next, some of the special test. Barlow's test. Barlow's test, as you can see first picture, what happens, you see the directions, the arrows of the therapist. In this, the therapist will be flexing the hip and knee to 90 degrees, and the test will be performed by bringing the thigh towards the midline. It means the therapist will bring into the adduction of the hip, and there will be a pressure, minute pressure is placed on the knee. It means the force will be directed the posteriorly downwards. That is your Barlow test. Barlow test. Remember the 2 points, adduction of the hip and the force will be posteriorly downwards. When coming to Ottolini test, the therapist will flex the hip and knee 20 degrees, and there will be abduction of the hip, and the force will be pushing into an anteriorly, it means upwards. So the test is positive if you can hear the audible cluck sound, the click, and so it will become the sound. That is your Ottolini test in child. You can also see the Trendelenburg's test. Downward tilting of the pelvis on the affected side gives the positive. And you can see some of the Galeazzi sign. Apparent short femur is unequal and the knee height gives on the positive. This is a Galeazzi test. PT management will be discussed on the next video. Thanks for watching SPN. And any comment, query, please let me know. Thanks.